Namaste dear students, hi. I'm Dr. Saurabh Jindal. I'm a dermatology faculty. Today I'm going to speak to you something that comes straight from my heart. And that is, what do we do apart from the actual study part which actually improves our success rates in the NEET exam. The upcoming NEET exam, 5th March, not a long time remaining, just maybe 30 days remaining. What should be our mindset is what we are trying to look at today. And this is my practical approach to how I would have approached an exam if I have only 30 days left. The biggest problem you will have in the next 30 days is not preparation, but the mind games that will happen. Your mind will play games with you. The games which will be so tough to solve. So what do you do about the mind? Because you have to know mind and body is one unit. We might think of them as separate. Your mind controls your body. The reverse is also true. The body controls your mind. So we'll talk about both. One of the classical ways to boost the mind itself is to have a great posture. This is called the army posture or the warrior posture. So what you should do first in the next 30 days, try and do that. When you are sitting in a chair, try to get your chest out and your shoulders a bit back. So this kind of a posture alerts your head, alerts your mind into thinking that they have to concentrate. So your body movements, your body position determines how much concentration you have. And if you slouch in your chair, if you're doing like this, see the slouching that you're having? This slouching will automatically tell your mind to relax. Yeah. So when you lounge back, that's the time for your mind to go down in concentration and memory. So first tip I will give all of you students is almost be like that army. Have you seen ever an army person, how he stands? He stands like this, erect. So do that in your chair. Try to not take the support of the back. Be a bit front on in your chair. And that is when you will have the most concentration. You might think it's small, but really amps up your memory and your retention, which is obviously so vital. So the first thing is posture, because the body controls the mind. We'll also speak about how the mind can be attuned to the body part of it. That's what the topic will be for today. What I want you to know, bache, first, all of us, when you're so near to the exam, all of us have one thing which is almost universal in all the students that I speak to. That is self-doubt. Self-doubt. So what I want you to understand now is, do you really first realize that what you are lacking, most students lack belief. So let's look at that. Do you genuinely believe that good times are here? Do you genuinely believe that 5th March is going to open up a window to the rest of the life that you will have? Are you excited for the next phase of your life, or are you scared about the next phase of your life? Most of us will be scared about that exam. Most of us will have what we call as a what if mentality. What's a what if mentality? What if is, what if I don't do well? What if I don't get the rank that I want? What if I don't create the life that I want to have for myself? What if I don't get neurosurgery, dermatology, radiology, whatever is in your head? You have this what if ... mentality. What if you change that? What if you say that, okay, what if it's the start of an exciting phase of my life? What if that door opens up to the dreams that I have? What if I feel so alive, I cannot wait for the rest of my life? Is that the sentiment all of us have right now? No. All of us have a sentiment, how will I remember? I'm not able to get my GT scores. I'm not able. So the belief that all of us have is a negative belief. So the first thing, question your limiting beliefs. Are your beliefs limiting you, or are they expanding you? So first thing, pen and paper. 5 minutes, write down in your book, what kind of belief are you on? Are you on a negating belief? Are you on an expanding belief? So what is your story? See, most of us have great wishes for ourselves. We will say, I want to do well. I want to be the first. I want to have a good rank. All of us have excellent wishes. But you know what? And the problem we have is those wishes don't really help you at all. The only thing wishes do to you is possibly give you a bit of pressure. That what if those wishes don't come true? So the first thing, forget about wishes. Forget about thoughts. Work on the self-story. You know what's a self-story? What is your mind telling yourself? Is it telling, Saurabh, you have not done well in your MBBS profs. Anyway, my GT scores are not coming. A slouch shoulder. You are actually having a negative self-talk. So the first 30 days, all of you have to remember one thing, that you work every day in the morning on what we call as belief training. What is belief training? Belief training basically means that you believe that good is going to come, even though you don't have evidence in the past of that thought. Do you see this sentence? Even you might look in the past and say, I have no reason to believe that I will do well in the next 30 days or on 5th March, because your GT scores didn't come, your rank didn't come, other students did better than you. You have no reason. But guess what? What is belief? Belief is something which is trust without reason. You don't have to have a reason to trust yourself. You just have to look and believe in the great Almighty, and whatever forces are there which are unsaid, unknown, unseen, and you know that this belief is going to be illogical. We call this illogical belief. Trust it even though you don't believe it. It's okay. You just have to do this thing. And you know what? After 4 or 5 days, if I start believing that things will happen, you'll find that magically things have a higher chance of happening. So the first thing I want you to focus on in the next 30 days is self-talk, self-belief, and what your head is telling yourself, and that's what you work on the first. Remember, bache, very, very importantly, you might have strong desires, but you know what? A weak mind will always come in the way of a strong heart. All of us have excellent wishes. All of us wish good for ourselves. We want this, we want that. But guess what? What is the barrier to this? The barrier is what your head is saying. Can you see there's a tough fight between what your heart desires and what your mind wants? Mind is almost like a hand which tries to pull that fellow down. Oh, don't fly, don't fly, don't fly. Your heart wants to fly. Your mind cuts the wings of your beautiful heart. And what we are trying to do here today is basically wanting to do something about this head part, which might not be your biggest ally at this particular time. Remember, this is what I always start with. Whenever, I almost believe, and that's there in many literature books and many self-help books also, all of us have an very, very big responsibility of standing at the gate of our own mind and only allowing good thoughts to come in and not allowing bad thoughts to come in. Unfortunately, most of us, majority of the day, have worry thoughts, anxiety thoughts, negativity thoughts, self-doubt thoughts. Those thoughts can be stopped right at the gate of the mind. Mind is almost like a chamber. It's almost like a house. Do you not look at the peephole first from your house and see, oh, who's there? Somebody has knocked on the door. You think, oh, it's a thief. Oh, it's a bad person. Oh, I will not open the door. And oh, if it's a good person, you want to open the door and get them in and maybe serve coffee and tea to them. Why do you not do that at the house of your head? Your head is like the house. Stand at the gate. Only allow good thoughts to come in. In the next 30 days, a lot of negative fellows will knock on the door. I want to come in and give you anxiety, give you stress, give you fear, give you self-doubt. I want you to stand there and say, no, you go back. I'm not taking you in, because if you come in, you will create trouble for me and I will struggle a lot in the next 30 days. So that's the first thing. Stand at the gate of your mind and only control good thoughts, right? Very importantly, no matter what you believe, you will become the environment around you in the next 30 days. What do I mean by that? If you have people around you who are trying to push you down, if you have friends around you, if you have colleagues around you who will call you up and say, oh, you got only this much in GT. Oh, did you not study this? Oh, this is very important. And you say, oh my God, oh, that means I'm not prepared. What if you have maybe your mother, your father, your friend, your cousin, whoever? Only allow very selective people around you who actually create a positive vibe around you. So that's the first point. You will become the environment around you. So choose your environment wisely in the next 30 days. What you also should do is your desk has to be non-cluttered. In the morning, make it a point to make it almost like a temple. So do you not believe that, we wipe the temple, we wash the temple, a lot of people will go, okay, let's remove the slippers outside because this is God's chamber, let me not pollute it. Do you realize what's happening? So if you are in your room studying, in your library or in your room, is that not your temple for the next 30 days? Would you want to really spoil that with junk? No, right? So what you should do? You should, always ensure that your table that you're sitting on is that pure place. And you might think this is a small thing. No, it is really not, because the positive vibe that you get, maybe keep something nice, maybe keep a beautiful object there, maybe keep a flower there, maybe keep something nice which really gives you nice emotions. close that door and keep that space tidy and nice. That's the first very, very important thing in the next 30 days. It really helps your mindset a lot, okay? I really believe this now. There's something called as a golden hour. It's a very important concept of performance. What is a golden hour? The first hour in the morning and the last hour before you sleep are called the golden hours of the day, which means that if you conquer these 2 times, you are more likely to have a very, very good day ahead. So how do you do a golden hour concept? How do you ensure that this hour that you get up at 6 to 7 is your golden hour? What do you mean by the golden hour? What do you do in that golden hour? How do you make that productive? How do you make that nice is what we're trying to tell you. The first thing I want to do is listen nice things right in the morning. Okay, all of us know about this, right? If you start your day with nice, positive, uplifting thoughts, there's so many apps now which give you this. You just don't have to even work too hard for it. Put something nice. Don't read the news. Don't see the television. Don't just absent-mindedly scroll your mobile phones. Get something nice on that mobile phone. Use that to your advantage. Listen for you're getting ready, you're brushing your teeth. Why not have something nice at the background which pumps in some nice information? Have a good song, have an uplifting song right there. So that really vibes up your body. You say, okay, let's be ready for the fight, because the fight is coming in the day. So gear up for that. Listen something. So your ear is your first portal for positivity, right? See something nice. Okay, if you are fortunate enough to stay in a place where you have some nice views out of the window, do that. If you don't have that, you can create that happy space around you. Come near your parents, get something nice, look at something nice. Anything which visually looks nice to you, okay, is something, again, that eye positivity is something. I love to get the sun. Sun is extremely vital to boost up your brain hormones, because that's the only way your brain thinks it's morning. So what most of us can also do, if you don't have a good view around you, you just open the windows and just see, not see directly obviously, but just get some sun into your body. Your hormones, your brain hormones, your norepinephrines, your cortisols will really shoot through the roof, and that's where your mind says, okay, let's get in. So sun is the energy not only for plants, sun is energy for you as humans as well. That's how humans are designed, and that's why you will always find that as it becomes night, a lot of these hormones start to dull down. Get your sun right in the morning. That's again, see nice, smell nice. Okay, and this is the part of the golden hour. See nice, hear nice, smell nice. Get some incense, some agarbatti, some dhoopbatti, anything which has got a nice fragrance. Put that on and you will really find that things are turning magical right in the morning. These are very important performance principles. Now this is very different from what so many people would say. I know that a lot of students, a lot of teachers would say, and rightly so, okay, you do dermatology in 1 day, now you don't have too much time, do medicine in 1.5 days. That's an important part of planning. But what a lot of us miss is what about the mindset way of planning. That's what we are trying to create. Very important, very important. The golden hour finishes with a bit of movement. Okay, I have a sentence that I say, motion is emotion. Okay, the moment you move, okay, anything that you do, it's very important to do about 5 to 10 minutes of movement, stretching. Now we have so many stretching exercises. If you want, I can put that at the bottom in the link. I can send you a link which is just a 15-minute stretch exercise without any equipment required. And when you do kind of a movement exercise, any movement that you do, you know what, the body says, oh, this fellow is trying to move, that means I have to wake up. So these are all ways to wake up your head and improves your memory and concentration. Listen nice, see nice, move. Movement is really, really important, because you're going to sit through the whole day. There's no point in just slouching like that. You will have body ache, you will have, you know what will happen? If your mind needs to really, copy the body. If your body is moving, your mind is moving. If your body is silent, your mind becomes silent, and you're going to read for 10-12 hours in a day. And obviously your mind slacks, your mind becomes tired. What if you give it a break by some kind of movement? Your joints are moving, there's lubrication in the joints, there's also lubrication in the mind with the same movement, and that completes my golden hour concept. Morning and night, whatever time you have, I'm not saying give it the full hour. Obviously we don't have that time, but get the concept in. At least sometime in the morning, maybe just 10 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the morning, totally basically, and this is really, really important. There is something I really want to do, bache, okay? mindfulness-based stress reduction. Mindfulness-based stress reduction. There are many apps. Okay, the app that I really like is something called as Insight Timer, or there's a Headspace kind of an app. Okay, Insight Timer is free. Headspace, I think, has got subscription. What we can do is just sit and breathe. Okay, we call it 6-6-6 technique. 6 long breaths inside, 6 seconds hold, and 6 expiration. You might say, oh, this seems very weird. What does that do? Guess what? If you do MBSR properly in the next 30 days, you know what you want to see? And this is proven by functional MRIs, bache. Functional MRI scans being done on this kind of technique, and guess what? You can actually increase physically, anatomically, your brain size. This is shown by established studies. What if, do you not want to have a bigger brain at the end of 30 days to retain more information? How cool is that? Who would not really want to invest in increasing the brain capacity and functional status? Your memory centers, your retention centers, your concentration centers, your focus centers actually ramp up if you do this. I just need you to do about 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and maybe 5 to 10 minutes at night before you go to sleep. Now this, you might think, oh, there's so many things to do, we don't have time. But you know what? Saying that I don't have time, it's almost like you're wanting to drive your car without petrol, or without diesel and CNG. Is that possible? If you don't put fuel into the car, you will not have performance. So you are trying to take performance out of your body, which is your car, but you're not trying to put in things in to reinforce this structure. You will break down. And we know so many students, unfortunately, who have done so well, they break down. And most of our students will say, sir, it's too late, it's only 30 days, I can't do it. You know what analogy I give? I give an analogy of a T20 match. You know which is the most important overs of a T20 match? Okay, the last 2-3 overs. If you score like 40-50 runs in the last 2-3 overs, you might actually be winning the entire game. And you might not have done a lot in the beginning. You look at Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He used to ramp up his 6s and 4s in the last over, and and then earlier he was like 1s and 2s. So he's so smart, and that's what I think you should also do. Get your 6s, get your 4s in the end. But you know what you need to do for that? You need to be full, you need to fly, and for that you need these kinds of hacks. These are called as biohacks. We call them biohacks to hack your body into best performance. MBSR, amongst all the things that I'm saying, movement and MBSR are the central most things I feel all of you need to do for a great mindset in the next 30 days. So get your Insight Timer app, download it, take 10 minutes of that, play anything. They are guided meditations. They tell you to breathe, and guess what? After 10 minutes, you can, believe me on this, your stress level goes down, your incredible cortisols, which are really giving you a lot of stress and sleeplessness, also goes down. So if you really do this well, you will sleep better. You will perform better, you will become like a sponge to absorb and retain information so much better. So remember, this might be the game changer in the next 30 days. Apart from obviously the physical preparation, I'm not denying that, that's so important, notes, highlights, so important. But if you miss this, you might not really be able to use those notes very effectively. So this is very, very important. We know that memory centers actually retain better with just 30 days. It doesn't take more than that. Studies show that it takes about 30 days to do this. This is exactly the perfect time to start this. Your mind will start to waver, I know, in those 10 minutes when you meditate, but don't mind it. It's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. Mind is like a rabbit. It tends to jump like that, but it's okay. Even if you do without any output of it in the initial few days, don't worry. Continue it, and you will see that during the exams, you will actually be able to do better inside the exam hall because you have prepared for the last 30 days with this MBSR technique. We also need you to do this. Hara Hachibu is a Japanese saying, okay? There's a place called as Okinawa in Japan where people really live for a long time. These are called as blue zones of the world where people live for about 100 years very easily. They have a concept which is important for their success and longevity, which I think I should tell you. It's called Hara Hachibu, which means that when you have your lunch and your dinner and your breakfast, whatever meals you have, meal time is very important for your performance, by the way. Do you know this? You know why? Because if you fill yourself up 100% and your stomach is distended with carbohydrates and sugars, you know what will happen? The moment your abdomen is stretched like that, you will start to feel a bit sedated. And you will see that after a heavy lunch or a heavy dinner, you will usually slack, and that's why a post-lunch session is very difficult to concentrate. Hara Hachibu states that you only eat till you're 80% full or 75% full. So if you're 80% full and you stop eating, you might feel, I'm a bit more hungry, I can have a little bit more. Stop there. A little bit of hunger needs to remain in your belly for improving your mindset and concentration and memory. These are all proven by science. This is not something which is a gimmick thing. If you kind of leave a bit of space in your belly, you will not feel sleepy. And that's why a light lunch, a light dinner is very, very important. That's the concept, Japanese concept of Hara Hachibu. We need you to have an accountability buddy. Okay? Means what? Your mommy, father, cousin, always at the end of the day, tell one person, you will ask me how my day went. And I will write to you, sir, or ma'am, or mummy, or papa, I studied 10 hours today. I studied 11 hours today. That's called an accountability buddy, a friend whom you're accountable for. And in the whole day, there are going to be challenges. You will say, okay, mommy, I did that writing in the night, that mess in the night will feel so nice. You know what you will feel? Oh, good, I did what I could today. Okay, that's the only thing in your hand. Writing 11 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, and then you pat yourself on the back and say, oh, I did well today. I don't know my effort will bring me any fruits or no, but I did what I could today. So that accountability buddy keeps you under check. It's very, very common for students to feel a lot of strong emotions. But see what we have written. Stay in action, not in feelings. Work, 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 work like a machine. The moment those thoughts come, oh, what if I don't do well? Put that into the garbage bin. Stand at the gate of your mind, not allowing those things to come in. Stay in action, bache. Stay in action, not in feelings. Feelings may make you vulnerable. Feelings may make you want to sit. But stand like a warrior. Warriors stay in action. They don't stay in feelings. Oh, what if I die? Is not a warrior mentality. A warrior mentality is, let me work, let me fight, let me kill. It's okay, whatever happens will happen, but I'll do what I can, right? Warrior mentality, be a grinder, bache. You know what's a grinder? I have a nice saying. If you can run, run. Okay? If you can't run, at least walk. If you can't walk, at least crawl. But whatever it is, you better be moving. What does that mean? That means some days are going to be bad in the next 30 days. Some days are going to be very good. Okay? What's a grinder? A grinder is the one who still crawls even though it's been a bad day. See, on a good day, everybody can do well. You're feeling nice on top of the world, everything is nice. But what if some days are really bad? Some days you're having abdominal upset, you're not feeling nice, somebody has scolded you, somebody has said a unkind thing to you, some random bad thoughts. That's how we are as humans, right? Who's a grinder? A grinder is someone who still pushes on, even if it's not nice on that day to do that. So that is really something, it's okay to be hurt, but it's not okay not to fight. That's called the warrior mentality. Discipline is really hard, bache. I know that. It's one of the most boring things in the world is discipline. Most of us believe that motivation gives you success. No, motivation is just a transient thing. It just stays for a few minutes or a few hours. What really makes a difference in life is boring discipline. But you know what's the problem in boring discipline? Boring discipline will have days where you just don't feel like getting out of the bed. Think in your head, have those days been there for you? And as the exams near, those days will be more frequent. Days where you feel, I don't feel like it, so I don't feel like getting up. I know I should be studying, but no, I just don't want to get up. You are not wanting to fight. And that's what's the difference between an average person and a successful person? Okay? Both of these people will do well on the good days. A successful person does well, irrespective of the fact that he doesn't feel like doing. I was watching Michael Phelps, he's a very famous swimmer. Very recently I saw one of his audio talks. You know what he says? He said that he used to train 365 days in a year and he did that for 5 straight years. Can you even believe this? He said, I did not have even one rest day. I want you to have this mentality today. Next 30 days, no rest moment. No rest day. You understand what I'm saying? There's no rest day, which means what? He says, no, there were so many days I did not feel like going into the swimming pool, but I still went. You know why? Because that is my warrior. My warrior still goes into the pool even though I don't feel like it. My muscles are aching, my tendons are tearing. I still want to get in the pool because I know these are my winning days. If you're in the pool on the days where things don't feel nice, you are winning and others are not. So this is what I want you to have. Grind on the days you are feeling the worst. So your worst days will be your best days. And that's what I want you to get at, and that is what is called the mindset of a warrior, mindset of a winner, and that's genuinely how winning is done. Winning is always done on the bad days. You know, it's always like a roller coaster. You will have a roller coaster in the next 30 days. Some days things are nice, some days things are down. Guess what? Every roller coaster will go up, right, again. So trust destiny for you. Go down, but you know that things will only go up. But when things are up, don't be too fascinated because things will go down again. That's how life is. Life is supposed to be unjust, bache. So don't go into the justice trap. You know what's the justice trap? That I am a good person, so life will be good to me. That's not necessarily true. Bad things happen to good people, and very good things happen to bad people also. And that's how life is. Life is supposed to be unfair. What are you supposed to do? You're not supposed to question life. You're supposed to question what you are doing when life hits you with bad things. That's what I want you to know. All of us worry a lot, and rightly so. All of us will feel, what if? You know what you should do when you have these bad, really collapsing thoughts? This is called the circle of control. Stay in the white circle. White circle is the circle which is in your hand. You know what is in your hand? Effort is in your hand. So be effort focused, not result focused. You know what's that? So always try to think, okay, today I want to study for 10 hours or 11 hours. That is the only thing in my hand. Whether I retain what I read is unfortunately not in your hand, bache. The only way to boost retention is what we have told you today. MBSRs, movements, golden hour concepts, belief training is the way to retain better. But still, obviously I know that is not perfectly in your hand. But you know what happens? All of us are focused on what happens on 5th. That's called result focusing. Result focusing always gives you stress. And effort focusing always gives you joy and happiness. You know why? Because in the night, if you tell your mommy, I read for 11 hours, will you not feel nice that yes, I did my effort well? So remember the concept of honesty of effort. Honesty of effort. If you're honest 100% in your effort in the next 30 days, you're already winning. So always remember this term, honesty of effort. Whether the results will be honest or no, that is in the blue circle. The green circle, meaning not in your hand. Your hand is only for effort, not for result. So be process focused, not result focused. Yes, every time you fall back down, dust yourself up, get back up. Get back up. And I will finish this small talk with the Sylvester Stallone dialogue. I say that in many of my classes. Many students would know this. No one will hit you harder than life itself, bache. It doesn't matter how hard you hit back. It's about how much you can take and keep fighting. How much you can suffer and keep moving forward. This is how you win. Life has been about how much suffering you can take. Next 30 days is going to be a lot of suffering. Mental, physical, emotional, draining, a lot of trouble will come. Let it come. Let you bleed. Put a band-aid on and move on with life. Things will sort itself out. Trust the biggest spear. Trust God, trust destiny to take you home. And this, bache, is my 2 cents on what I wanted to communicate to you. I will also speak to you in another video that I will create about the actual study hours and what study hours I want you to do, okay? And how much you want to take a break off between sessions, okay? But that will be for a later time. Today, I just wanted to speak about how the mind can be regulated with conceptual, practical understanding. And if you really follow this video well and in letter and spirit, you will find that your chances will really boost up till 5th. And guess what? A tsunami is going to come. The tsunami is going to be the stress before your exam. You need to be prepared. You need to put on an armor right now. You know what students do? They first get into the stress, get into the tsunami, and then they want to put on an armor. No, the time to put on the armor is right now. Before you get into that, you know something is coming. You know something big is coming. Why do you not want to boost yourself up? We need to augment ourselves right now so that we can take what's going to come. But it's coming. Nothing to be scared of. Get on with life. And I want you to leave this short session with a sentiment. Close your eyes, put a hand on your heart and say, I can't wait for the rest of my life. I can't wait for the rest of my life. I'm closing with that sentiment. Namaste. Thank you. God bless.